Hello, my dear friends. I extend my warm welcome to you all to this very important session. So let us watch without skipping it.
According to H.P. Smith, learning is the acquisition of new behavior or the strengthening or weakening of old behavior as a result of experience.
It is also named as learning of insight is a contribution of German psychologist who was studying the nature of perception.
According to Gagne, learning is perceiving and understanding through insight, the relationship between various objects in a situation and acquiring a problem-solving behavior suddenly.
An insight is the sudden awareness of perception of relationship leading to solution of a problem. Such a solution can be repeated promptly when the problem is again confirmed. Kogler conducted two experiments used by chimpanzees to prove insight learning. Let us see the two interesting experiments.
In this experiment, Kahler shut the chimpanzee sultan in a big cage. A banana was placed outside, at a considerable distance of the cage. Inside the cage, there were two sticks, one of them a long one, the other a bit shorter. The shorter stick could be screwed into the longer one. The long stick could not reach the banana, but if the other one was screwed into it, the banana could be touched. Sultan tried to get at the banana.
He tried the longer stick, but it did not reach the fruit. The other was still smaller. He sat down and began to play with the sticks, but he was still catching over the matter. Suddenly, an idea flashed to him. He pushed the smaller stick into the hole of the longer one and thus managed to get at the banana with the help of the combined sticks.
Experiment 2. In this experiment, the chimpanzee was shut in a room with unsolvable words. A banana was hanging with the ceiling. The animal was hungry. He jumped at the fruit, but it was too high. He left the efforts and sat down. There was a box lying in the corner of the room. The animal began to play with the box. He then suddenly got up and pushed the box to the center of the room below the banana, jumped from it and caught the fruit.
Educational implication of the theory of insight. From whole to parts, problem solving approach, integrated approach, motivational aspect.
Gagne's theory of learning. Robert M. Gagne is the American educational psychologist. To explain how the school children learn, Gagne has proposed a learning theory. His learning theory is based on both behavioral and cognitive views on learning. To Gagne, learning is the varieties of change in the behavior that take place at different levels, ranging from classical conditioning to problem solving. Hence, teaching should also be performed at different levels.
Hierarchy of learning. Signal learning. The child mechanically performs a conditional response or emotional response to a new stimulus or signal. It is similar to classical conditioning responded to a bell by salivating. Example: the students feel anxious at the sight of an examination booklet. Here the real stimulus is hidden. Only the signal of an stimulus elect responses.
Stimulus response learning. The child makes specific response to a particular stimulus. Here, the child uses precise movements of the muscles to make a response. Example: on hearing the sound stand up, the child stands up, and the child to learn Amma at the sight of his mother.
Chain learning. Chain learning consists of motor and verbal chaining. Verbal chaining is a matter of connecting together in a sequence of two or more preciously learned stimulus response. Example: boys and girls, daddy and mummy. Motor chaining makes a series of responses that are linked together. Example: unlocking a door.
Associate learning. The child associates words to objects. Verbal two chains are involved here. Observing response SR connection that connects the appearance of the object and distinguish it from the other objects. SR connection that stimulates the child himself to say the name of the objects. Example: naming an object, that is, the child identifies a ball. An observing response enables the child to say the proper name. Suppose the child names a red ball, he learned a verbal association of three links, namely the identification of the object, naming of the object, and color of the object.
Multiple discrimination. The students learn to discriminate many similar appearing stimuli and to respond to them in many different ways. Example, discrimination between a feeding bottle and a simple bottle. Walking and talking, man and woman, calling the student by his correct name.
Concept learning. In concept learning, we deal with the classes of object as the student. We form concept by finding properties which a class of object share in common. Therefore, we learn generalization within classes and gradually learn the discrimination between classes. Example, first we learn about a dog, then various classes of dog, and then cats, etc.
Principal learning. The student acquire a clear understanding of a statement by relating two or more concepts. The student acquire knowledge and understanding of a relationship between two or more concepts. Example, if a noun begins with the vowels A, E, I, O, U, the article and comes. If a verb ends with ing, then it is a gerund.
Problem solving. The student applies principle to arrive at new principle. The student selects two or more correct rules and applies them in a combination to arrive at a unique solution.
The problem solving requires the student to use his thinking skills. Thinking is the internal condition of problem solving. Example, when the student balances a chemical equation, he solves a problem. When the student determines the area of triangle, he solves the problem.
Educational implications of Gagne's theory. Gagne's learning hierarchy helps the teacher to identify suitable learning types for the learner. It helps the teacher select suitable content of a unit for teaching. It helps the teacher select appropriate learning technique. It helps the teacher decide what lower behavior or subordinate skills should be taught before teaching higher learning types. It helps the teacher to break a complex task into component skills and teach those skills only that the students are lacking.
My dear friends, we all learned the two interesting theories and you should remember the key features and points. We hope you all understand the learning theories and see you again with new and interesting topics. Bye friends, thank you.
Thank you.